Meantime, a 14-year veteran of the IRS says he was barred from taking steps that could have led to President Biden in an investigation. Gary Shapley detailing what he calls the Justice Department's interference in his 5-year investigation into Hunter Biden.
Our congressional correspondent Kilmeny Ducard joins us now with more details on this. Kilmeny.
Bob and Katrina, good to be with you. You'll remember that it was Gary Shapley's testimony that House Republicans on the Ways and Means Committee had unanimously agreed to make public. And now, in an interview with CBS News, he's detailed the impact of the DOJ's failure to follow protocols on that investigation.
There were certain investigative steps that we weren't allowed to take that could have led us to President Biden.
And you wanted to take them?
We needed to take them.
And you weren't allowed to take them?
That's correct.
Shapley says Hunter Biden owed $2.2 million in taxes to the federal government between 2014 and 2019 and wrote off prostitutes, sex club memberships, and hotel rooms for drug dealers as business expenses. He says these offenses would have landed anyone else in jail and that the Justice Department failed to pursue more severe charges. Now, the Attorney General Merrick Garland says the Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss had full authority to bring charges outside of Delaware. Shapley claims Weiss told him he didn't.
I documented exactly what happened, and it doesn't seem to match what the Attorney General or the U.S. Attorney are saying today.
The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, set to testify before the House Judiciary Committee on September 20th amid calls from some House Republicans for his impeachment. Bob, Katrina.
All right, Kilmeny Ducard, thank you. And joining us now to discuss is senior national security analyst and former acting director of national intelligence, Ric Grenell. Ric, great to have you with us here. Your reaction to this whistleblower, again, talking to a big media outlet at CBS, you would think that the DOJ and more Americans would really start saying, there might be something here.
Look, I view this as the same problem that we have in Washington, D.C. with a two-tiered justice system. There's a double standard, certainly, for Republicans and Democrats. But if you look at the whistleblower now, you see a drastic difference between what CNN say was doing yesterday with the audio tape on loop, this audio tape of President Trump. And they're playing this over and over, this leaked audio tape. Now, look, they're trying to influence an investigation from DOJ. They are not waiting for this audio tape to be presented in court at an appropriate time. They're leaking it early. The whistleblower for the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden case waited until the process was completed. This whistleblower has a lot of credibility because he didn't come forward and try to influence the process. He let the process continue, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. And then he came forward and said, wait a minute, I don't believe justice has been served. That's a fundamental difference in leaking information and sharing information as a whistleblower. To me, that says that this whistleblower has a lot of credibility.
And Ric, one of the criticisms we've heard is that when it comes to Hunter Biden, what he ended up being charged with, getting a plea deal, was so narrow. And when the observation from Merrick Garland is he could have charged him anywhere in the country, but there are critics that say it's not the charging, it was the investigation that was stymied. Weiss was not going beyond this very narrow lane.
And I actually believe this whistleblower. I think they've got a lot of credibility. They weren't trying to jump in the process too early. They were giving justice a chance to play out. And now this whistleblower has come forward because he doesn't feel like the process was good. But I like the fact that he waited on the process. He waited patiently. He wanted to see if the process would work. And now he's coming forward to say the process didn't work, and here's why. To me, that's a lot of credibility. This is not somebody who's trying to influence the actual investigation like a leaked audio tape is trying to do. And so I think that we've got a problem in Washington, D.C. with people who really are doing the rule of D.C. rather than the rule of law. And to me, the rest of America is suffering, and we see it. We see this swamp behavior. We see the two-tier justice system, the two-tier process for leaks. And if you're a Republican, you get one standard, and if you're a Democrat, you get another. And that's how countries are ruined.
Rick, I do want to switch gears while we have you here. You were honored at a ceremony in California on Monday. And at that ceremony, California Democrats walked out. This was at the state Senate in California, and you were being honored as the first openly gay member of a presidential cabinet. Of course, you're also former ambassador to Germany. It's just, what did you feel at that moment when you observed and realized what was happening?
Look, when I entered the floor and they walked out and they were trying to carry the banter of diversity and tolerance, I think I was feeling laughter. I could sense the hypocrisy. I knew people would see the hypocrisy. You don't get to carry a banner saying, you know, we're going to be tolerant, but then you can't sit and listen to someone being honored. They literally ran out of the room. It's like a kid running out of the room with their fingers in their ears. And I think the regular American people, certainly Californians, see this. This is the death of common sense. People who pretend to be saying, I'm tolerant and I'm for diversity, but they can't even hear a dissenting view. You know, my dad used to say to me, shut up, sit down and listen. You might learn something. And I think we got to get back to just common sense, where you can hear your neighbor's opinion without completely panicking or trying to cancel them. You can listen to a dissenting view without freaking out. We are not going to be a great country if we can't hear dissenting views. Inherent in the word tolerate or tolerance is tolerate. Doesn't mean you agree with me. It means you get to just sit there and tolerate me without running out of the room. So I don't think that they showed their cards as being very diverse or tolerant at all.
All right, Ric Grenell, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
All the best.